All right, guys, it is day 2 of the Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship, and we are out on Caddo Lake. How many anglers we got today?
23 anglers left this spot this morning, and some big names. So we should be able to find some good hookups and some good stories for you guys today.
That'll be fun. Let's get out there.
So today is day 2 of a 3-day event and the day of the cut. We cut the field from 461 to 100. Everybody wants to be in that top 100. You can't win it if you're not in it. There's a lot of different reasons anglers compete. Some it's for the notoriety. Some it's for the enrichment and personal growth. And then there's some anglers out there that just compete for the pure joy of competition. And one of those anglers is Josh Stewart. Josh Stewart is a rising star in the kayak bass fishing community and consistently finishing at the top of leaderboards.
So we found Josh Stewart in the middle of nowhere, where you expect him to be. And he's doing pretty good, fishing a dang little Cinco. Throwing a Cinco is like my least favorite way to fish.
But it always catches fish.
It does.
How much money's been won on a Cinco, you think?
Gah.
Seems like the bite has died. Uh-oh. Maybe I was wrong.
Fish on, fish on. That's what I'm talking about. That's a good one too.
All right, my phone takes photos by voice command when I say whiskey. So people look at me crazy when I'm going, whiskey. Whiskey. Whiskey? Yeah, I'll add to the cause.
So that move you up a little bit?
Yeah. I think I called out one of my, I think a 14 I had.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good upgrade.
So 17 and 19, like a 16 and 2 15s, I believe I have. But I'll get rid of those 15s.
So that fish that Josh just caught upgrades him to 2nd place overall again. But let's head on over to Chad and see what he's up to.
One of my favorite things about the kayak fishing community is the personalities. And one of the coolest people is a guy named Bostick. He's that guy that has always got an infectious energy, and whether he's catching fish or not catching fish, he's always got a smile on his face.
15 a quarter, little guy. We're gonna try to find one kicker. That's all we need. We're gonna make it to the 100 today. There's no doubt about it. Just gotta stick to what you know and keep pushing.
Hey, we caught up with Bruce Deal from near Roanoke, Virginia. He's down here. First time fishing cypress trees and water like this. Is that right?
That's right. I feel like the bass are spawning, getting out of the wind behind these docks. So I've been having pretty good success going in behind the docks and fishing the cypress trees. I'd like to get in the top 20. A couple more good fish, I think I got a good shot.
It is really cool, a lot of the modifications these guys do to their kayaks, the add-ons and stuff like that. John Lester's boat right here has got basically a rack holding all of his rods out in front of him, which is a huge advantage when you're fishing like this. You get bit, you lose a fish, you grab another rod real quick, a follow-up bait, and throw in there, and you'll catch that fish 99% of the time.
I call my rod holder setup the battleship configuration. Take starboard, marine board, and then use body bolts to hold it in place. All YakAttack gear, this is the best. It allows you to fish smarter. Here we go. Say bye. Bye.
All right, guys, John Ferraro here just dropped the hammer on a 21-inch largemouth. I'd seen John mark a waypoint with his angler bullseye a little bit earlier after he missed a fish. It was quite an incredible catch. Hold up the big girl and let's see it. Let's show everybody what you did. Now that's a toad.
The Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship is presented by Torqeedo, makers of the 403 Ultralight Kayak Motor. YakAttack, make it yours. NRS, makers of the Chinook and Chinook PFDs for kayak anglers. Jackson Kayak, first to innovation. Louisiana, feed your soul. And tune in for all things kayak fishing by heading over to kayakbassfishing.com. So sometimes an angler's demeanor masks their competitive desire. So one of the nicest guys in the kayak bass fishing community is the 2016 Kayak Bass Fishing National Champion, Matt Ball. Now, on the surface, you wouldn't think that this super competitive, burning desire was housed inside the nicest guy you've ever met. But when it comes to competition, I think he has a different mode that he switches into, and the guy's one of the most fierce competitors out there.
What would you be happy with coming away from this? You've won one national championship.
Honestly, I mean, it's not something that I expect to ever do, but it would be, I would love to have my name on that trophy twice. I'm not gonna lie. This isn't the place that I feel like I had the chance to do it, so we'll see. But I'd never been to Kentucky Lake when I won it there, so. I had a limit fast here yesterday. I actually probably could have caught a lot more fish here. I just left. You don't want to hammer your spot if you're going to go back to it. And I'll be honest with you, I found this spot on the first day I was here and then looked everywhere on this lake for another spot. It never really came about, so I'm kind of banking on this spot, which isn't a good thing. I'm fishing out of the Jackson Big Rig FD, the pedal system. It is just an absolute incredible tournament fishing platform. I can stand, I can cast, I can sight fish. It's just super stable. I've been looking for a boat for these major tournaments that can handle all the gear that I want to pack around, and this boat does that.
This is the stuff I'm from right here. I love it. So we made our way through the cypress trees and cypress knees, snaked our way through the woods, and worked our way back to this little spawning pocket, and we found Adam Reiser from Nashville, Tennessee. Adam's a fellow Team Bonafide member and one of the best backwater anglers that I know. He's got this mud streak down the side of his kayak that just shows how much time he spends in the backwaters. We're gonna see if Adam can figure these fish out back here.
I came up here yesterday, paddled in here, like first cast, 19, second cast, 20, third cast, 15, and I left. I wasn't planning on managing fish, but that's a good problem to have.
So Adam, you're one of those guys that gets to fish a lot more than most people that I know. What exactly do you do for a living?
I have a very unique occupation currently. I happen to live in downtown Nashville, and anyone that's been on Broadway down there in the last few years has probably seen the ridiculousness that we refer to as Nash Vegas, and it's littered with all these party bikes, pedal taverns, these mobile bars where people pedal and get drunk, and I'm a driver on one of those. So much of my time on the weekends is spent facilitating and participating in bachelorette parties. And then midweek, I get to have my time off and get on the water and catch big bass.
Sounds like Adam's got the life.
Just the ones we want to cull, but I need a limit more than anything right now. I'll be fish number 2 for the day. Little buck. I still need one, man. I need a double digit.
All right, guys, we're here with Alex Fiocca. He had a pretty awesome approach. I want you to explain about these trees kind of being left alone after being hit hard.
So in kayak bass fishing, especially the national championship, when you have 461 competitors, I believe, initially in the morning there's congestion in areas, and something that I kind of keyed up on is once the congestion wears out and people start moving on and fingering off to different areas, that those high pressured areas will actually pick back up and have produced a few good fish for me over the past 2 days.
Right now you're sitting around 20th for the day, and so if you stay on the pattern you are now, then you're guaranteeing yourself a space in that top 100 leading into tomorrow and the big money.
We're crossing our fingers.
So one of the things that was different about the 2019 Kayak Bass Fishing National Championship is we went from a 2-day tournament to a 3-day tournament. And the way that it worked is the top 100 anglers made the cut and moved on to fish day 3. I think the cut is the way to go for future events. The anglers seem to have liked it. And I also think that there's a sense of pride that comes along with, after 461 anglers started on day 1, making that cut and having that orange decal on the front of your boat. All right, so the clock has ran out on day 2 of competition at the KBF National Championship. We'll be right back with more kayak bass fishing action.